Hi, it's Bren Murphy here, and today I'm talking about breakthrough moments and finding clarity. On the weekend, I had a breakthrough moment. It's an amazing breakthrough moment. Happened around 11:40 at night, and I'll just put a bit of background into the breakthrough moment I experienced. Okay, so I've been launching a new product, a new business, and writing a lot of content, getting the course notes ready, getting everything prepared, and it's been an amazing journey. I'm learning so much. I'm talking with my life coach, doing my personal coaching training, doing a lot of yoga, doing a lot of meditation, and running, and paying a lot of attention to self-care, and keeping my focus purely on growth and development and evolving. Okay, so I haven't been exposing myself to toxic people or negative influences or people who don't share my vision. So I've been keeping in a bubble so I can stay focused and really find some clarity. And I can honestly say at this stage today, at my age now, I'm 41, I have the most clarity, the most clearness, I feel the most mental acuity that I've ever felt before in my life, which is a really, such a relief and a powerful thing to say. Like, I know exactly where I'm at. I know where I've come from. I can see things in a real perspective that is just so, I'm so forgiving of my past. I've let go of it. It's not something I'm ashamed of, or that's sort of I'm carrying around with me, or there's the expectation of family has gone. The expectation of what I should be or might become is gone. Now it's purely focusing on what I can offer and what I can contribute, and where I get the best feeling of alignment. Okay, and I'm telling you, I have the most crystal clear moments of clarity and just beautiful perfection, really, when I'm following what I've been studying, okay, which is the growth space, which is spirituality, which is abundance and growth, and following your dream and your vision. Okay, and the key moment I'm at now is where you have that leap of faith, or you step off your comfort zone and just step out into the unknown, and you honestly do not know what is next after stepping off into the unknown. So you're standing at point A and you step off into the unknown at point B, but you don't know C or D or E or F or from there. But all you know is where you are and where you're going to step off to, and from then on it's full 100% living. It's the creative life. You're creating your life. Okay, so how did I come to this understanding? Well, right now I'm living, and to be brutally honest, I'd call it the end stage of a small business, where we've nurtured the business. It's a 7 or 8 year cycle we've had the business for, and it's widely reported. It's not something I've sort of, a phenomenon it's unique to my experience, but it's more that people do go into a small business and go through a series of phases, and after 7 to 10 years, the passion, the motivation, the momentum does flag or fade or dwindle, and it's ideally you want to move on to another project, or reimagine the business in another angle, or splice it off in another way. Just like a career, where you're 7 years at one position, you want to evolve to another position. So that being said, it's not, it's with great appreciation. I'm very grateful totally for the lessons I've learned and the experience I've been. We've had warehouses, we've been on TV, we've been in the newspaper, we've had huge sales, had crushing challenges, had amazing experiences, employee experiences, things with contractors, things with money and banks, all that kind of thing. So it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm totally a transformed person. Now I am like a legitimate small business person or independent business person with 8 years experience. So that's something that is part of who I am now. It's part of my juice, okay? Having said that, I have reflected and analysed and positioned myself going forward. But this is where the crux of the matter is. With my current existing life, there is a lot of connection and drag to the existing business, and living in this city with a location business. Even though it's online, it's still location dependent, and the financial structures and limitations are all built in so tightly that I just can't. I feel like this, totally constricted, and I can barely breathe. To step outside into a new project is to like have any other focus is so consumed with 70 or 90%, 80% of my time is still consumed in the previous business because it's not passed on or sold or moved on yet. Okay, so that is a massive priority to have that done. Okay, the next phase after that is my next business, because it would be a tragedy or a massive loss for me to just keel over and go back to a salaried position somewhere. I'd feel it would be. So it's not on the horizon. I'm not even looking in that space, okay? I'm not really open to that at all. More to the point, I've positioned myself to have a new angle and a new business, and I have got leads developing there and a list building and a website started there. So that's all fine, but critical to that is that I haven't launched because I know the current situation I'm in would only allow me 5 or 8% commitment to launch that new business. And knowing, having other businesses that didn't quite meet my expectations, I can clearly say it was because I wasn't fully committed to them. I was launching them as a side project with the understanding that I still had the core business and I'm just going to launch this side project. Almost just build a little boat and push it off into the ocean and see how it goes and go, oh my God, it's still floating. Oh my God. Wait a minute, I'll come back over. And it just has to fend for itself like a little boat tossed around on the ocean independently from day one. And it's not how you nurture a business. It'd be called business neglect or abuse if the business is your baby. You know, I mean, it's not fair to the business. It's not fair to yourself. Not fair to yourself in terms of you're launching your new product and your hopes and dreams are hinging on that to some extent, and you're not giving it a full sunlight to grow. It's only getting 8%, so it's literally not doomed, but to be resilient and to bloom through with 8% it has to be a knockout idea. And that's what happens with so many people. They will not give themselves permission to fully invest in that niche topic area or whatever the side project is, and of course it doesn't thrive. Of course it just sits there, and the momentum, it doesn't roll. It's just like a square rock, and you push it and it stops. Then you have to come back and push it again and it stops. And then there's time lags in between because it's only 8% of your focus, and 3 months later it's only gone 6 steps and you go, oh, it's not really working. And because you haven't invested that much, only 8%, you can let it go because it's only an 8% loss. So you can quietly just shelve that or not even tell anyone and just pretend it didn't happen and go, oh, well, it was the GFC. Or so you can sort of excuse it out of existence, and it's like that tree never fell in the forest, okay, which is not what I'm going to do, okay, because I have done that before and it was shit. A year later I go, what was that about? And I thought, well, and then I not comparing or judging, but I can stand it alongside other people who launched a similar project with a similar gist and did it with even a moderate budget but 100% focus, and it's flying. That it's sailing. the ship is still afloat. So that's my critical thing right now, is not launching something half-assed or not launching something with 8%. I'm not doing it ever again. Now my commitment and focus is to launch something with 100%. So the critical point for me is to be patient enough to let this past life or this old project be transitioned into and clear the slate, so there's enough room for me to give. I don't know if it'll ever be 100%. I don't know if it'll ever be 90%. It might be, it's got to be pushing 70, 80% focus, which means most days I wake up and go and do this one project from, I don't know, 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. in the day, and plus a few hours at night most days, okay? That's what the kind of commitment I want to give it. And similarly, a lot of zeros, not just a few $100 bumps here and there or a bit of a Facebook boost or things like that, because it just doesn't work. A lot of people and there's a lot of a big groundswell of theory that says internet-based stuff should be, by its very nature, free, easily accessible, easily shared, so social. And people go, oh yeah, well, I'm going to do this, and they go blip, and no one reads it or sees it, because it's just one blip in the ocean of competition with the noise. And then they get disheartened, and they go, oh, no one's reading my stuff. And you go, it's not that easy. It takes marketing and production and promotion and a strategy to sort of launch it into the space with, I'm talking hundreds, thousands of dollars to get it rolling, to get some people to go, oh, that exists, because they don't even know it exists, and they're not going to specifically search for something that doesn't exist, because that's not what people don't look for stuff that they don't know is there, okay? That's the thing. So that's where I'm at. It's a massive turning point. Back to the whiteboard, I got the whiteboard out, we drew up some amazing plans, had a bit of a cry. It's all in line with having a declutter of the house and making space and room for the new project, okay? Too much of it is, a masterpiece requires a blank canvas. That's today's takeaway. A masterpiece requires a blank canvas. And if you're fully committed and fully obligated, and you think somehow you can just have a little layer of masterpiece coming out at that 3% of spare time in the 45 minutes before you go to bed on the weekend, you're fooling yourself and you're setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. And what happens is, when you do that 2 or 3 times, you look at your life and go, well, maybe it's not for me. And it's always been for you. It's just that you haven't given enough sunlight to that seedling. You've got to cut down some of the big trees that are blocking the view and let the sunlight penetrate your new idea so it can grow, okay? All right, I'm going to go now. It's some amazing thoughts. I'm in a real transition stage. I'll be posting soon. Thanks a lot. It's Bren Murphy at brenmurphy.net.